everyone, welcome to BTT World Legal News. I am Panita.
And I am Prabjot. Today we will go through the latest updates in the political and legal sphere. New clashes between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Russia launches massive strike on Ukraine targeting energy infrastructure. Taliban rejects UN criticism over new laws restricting women's rights. UN Secretary General calls for major polluters to show leadership in cutting emissions to prevent Pacific climate catastrophe. Telegram founder Pavel Durov arrested in France over cybercrime investigations. Press freedom groups urge EU to sanction Israel for media violations.
Australia to cap international student numbers at 270,000 in 2025. Victorian government introduces new restrictions on short-stay rentals. Queensland government apologizes for confusion caused by outdated information on its website. Federal government to soon introduce an aviation industry ombudsman scheme and charter of customer rights.
You've probably heard that lawyer fees can really add up, right? Imagine how much money you could save if you handled most of your legal case yourself. With BTT Lawyers now you can. At BTT Lawyers, we understand that family law cases can be really complicated and expensive. That's why we give you complete control over your case and your expenses. Believe it or not, you can handle 70% of your case yourself. With the help of our legal advisors, clear plans and cutting-edge technology, you can manage the key parts of your case on your own. From preparing documents to tracking your case progress, you'll be able to understand and control everything. We're always here to support you through our offices in Preston, Dandenong, Sydney and Canberra. Facing legal issues doesn't mean going broke or giving up on your case. With BTT Lawyers, you'll only pay a small fraction of the typical legal fees. Ready to take charge of your case? Contact us today. BTT Lawyers, with you, for your case.
After a brief lull, Israel returned strikes on Lebanon targeting Hezbollah and Palestinian militants. Hezbollah responded by attacking Israeli military equipments with a drone. The conflict follows Israel's preemptive strikes against Hezbollah, allegedly thwarting a major attack after the killing of Hezbollah commander.
Russia launched over 200 missiles and drones across Ukraine, hitting cities from Kyiv to Odessa and damaging energy infrastructure, causing blackouts. President Zelensky condemned the attack as one of the largest in the war. The strikes coincided with Ukraine's ongoing offensive into Russia's Kursk region, altering the conflict dynamics after months of defensive battles.
The Taliban dismissed UN concerns over the new laws banning Afghan women from showing their faces or speaking in public. The UN condemned the laws as further oppressive restriction on women's rights.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres urges major polluters, including Australia, to lead in cutting emissions and phasing out fossil fuels to prevent climate catastrophe in the Pacific. He highlights rising sea levels and warming oceans threatening Pacific Islands' existence, calling for urgent global action ahead of the Pacific Islands Forum and the upcoming COP meeting in Azerbaijan.
Telegram founder Pavel Durov was arrested in Paris amid a cybercrime investigation involving the messaging app's alleged failure to prevent illicit activities, including child sexual abuse and fraud. Telegram, known for its controversial encryption practices and appeal to French communities, denies wrongdoing and argues it shouldn't be held liable for user actions.
60 global press, freedom and human rights organizations urgently called on the EU to sanction Israel for unprecedented violations of media rights, including the killing over 120 Palestinian journalists and banning independent media in Gaza. They demand the suspension of EU-Israel Association Agreement and targeted sanctions against responsible Israel officials.
The Australian government plans to cap international student commencement at 270,000 next year with limits set per institution. Education Minister Jason Clear stated the cap aims to ensure fair distribution among universities, benefiting the entire sector.
The Victorian government has announced new changes to its short stay rental laws, giving local councils and owners corporations the power to limit or ban short-term rentals. A 7.5% levy will also be introduced on January 1st. However, it exempts owners renting their primary residences. The government aims to improve housing affordability and invest in long-term rentals instead.
The Queensland Environment Department apologised for confusion caused by outdated information on its website about the state's plastic bag ban. The ban requires bags to contain 80% recycled content, which can include pre-consumer plastics or factory offcuts, not just post-consumer plastics.
The federal government will soon introduce an aviation industry ombudsman scheme and charter of customer rights to have increased customer protections in the airline sector. The reforms aim to improve airline accountability and establish clear guidelines for customer service backed by enforceable legislation for compliance.
That concludes our episode for today.
Thank you for joining us on BTT World News.